Hey, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of That's What He Said podcast. We're very excited to be here. I've got the crew with me. What's up, crew?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Our That's What He Said podcast has been established at Hannah God Ministries. So if you're searching for a podcast that deciphers religious messages and makes them relatable, look no further. Our podcast offers pearls of wisdom on a number of topics like personal development, finance, marriage, and in addition, we have engaging reviews of movies and commentary on relatable day-to-day situations. Featuring your hosts,
Anthony Feemster.
Samara Howe.
Dominic Prince.
and Leah Feemster. Today's episode is about posture.
Man.
My.
Does anybody want to tell a story about how we all assembled? Assemble!
Oh my God.
Formation.
How did we all assemble to be on this gracious topic?
Well, so I know originally for the month of March, our beloved bishop said he needed a break. So, in his words, I'm going to give y'all some dates where y'all finna preach while I relax. That's the short version.
Right.
So he decided for the ministers, we're going to have us four go that particular Sunday. Now, normally it's like, 15, 20, everybody get that, amount of time together. But this time we chose, let's do it together.
Yeah.
And you had to get permission first since some of us have restrictions when it comes to preaching.
That's fine. His visual aids have gone too crazy.
Too far. So we decided to go the podcast route, and the reviews of us have been all 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
And so after we finished discussing posture, our beloved pastor prophesied to us about having a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we were all on different sides of the room, like,
Pointing at each other like this fire will be.
like what?
Yes.
It was boom, let's do it. So, we're in this season of getting things done, the get her done stage.
Yeah, man.
And so, boom, that was 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And here we are,
2
met
weeks
a
ago.
week later to plan it. And then the following week, here we are recording the first episode.
First
Let's go.
First
Two
episode.
week anniversary.
We're still not even
Cable
Right.
everywhere.
We do have cables everywhere. We're recording this for you guys so you can see the process. But honestly, the follow through, I keep telling people like the follow through at Hogum is crazy. Like things get prophesied,
Consistency.
and then the execution happens like the next
Cool.
day or the next week. Like we're not playing this year. I don't know what it is. There's no delay. There's no procrastination. We
Yes,
winning.
we winning.
We are
Focus.
really
We
winning.
winning.
We winning, man.
If this isn't the definition of posture, I don't know what is.
Oh my God.
It really is. If we got prophesied to 2 weeks ago that we'll be doing a podcast and then putting in the work to actually do the podcast, come up with a name, start the website, start the
Right.
advertising,
Oh
put the
my
group
God,
page together, like the
man.
momentum.
We went hard.
We really did.
So
We set up a whole business in 2 weeks.
We did.
Yeah.
We got ways to give that are happening. We got the website functioning. We got bios created. We got the page running through Facebook. We got viewership on just a random question that was presented by me to Dom, and people just tapped it. It's just the love at our church. I really do appreciate it. Yeah.
And we've just been feasting on like these core scriptures, Philippians 2, 1 through 8, and 1 Timothy 6 and 6. And it just keeps on growing, getting bigger. Our elders yesterday or Sunday, Dr. White and Elder Eric talked about consistency and versus complacency.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, those two together.
Contentment.
I know. Those two together. Those two
Powerhouse.
together.
Powerhouse.
Obviously they're married. And they wore the matching sweatsuits. Like, you have to go to the
Fix. Did y'all see the night?
You have to
Yeah,
watch
the
the
kids.
live. Like, we have to tell you guys what's going on. We're going to give you a recap every Sunday. But you have to watch it.
You have to.
Because then you're going to miss the color coordination. They literally had on matching,
Lord.
like, sweatsuits and it matched the colors on the stage.
Right.
Matching shoes on.
About
Nike.
that. I didn't
Nike.
think about that.
Head to toe.
Head to toe. Those are goals for me, honestly. Like, I don't know what Anthony's playing around for, but whenever you're ready to put on our sweatsuits.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready to put on our sweatsuits, I'm ready.
See, I have a sweatsuit. Leah will have a sweatsuit, and then Leah wears my sweatsuit.
No.
Oh.
You have a sweatsuit, then I have a sweatsuit, then we have sweatsuits.
See,
I'll lend you my clothes anytime. I mean, this is actually
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yep. You don't have no hoodie.
I don't have.
You don't have no hoodie.
I don't have nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Don't have
Socks,
anything.
nothing.
It was in the vows.
But man, like, just to kind of like recap on the panel discussion that we had. I mean, I enjoyed everyone's comments, and it was just amazing how everyone's perspective was just tied in. Like, I was telling Sam during rehearsal or after Bible study, man, what you think about this? Awareness, alignment, atonement, and all this other stuff. And then Dom coming strong
I know.
with the
Dom.
skeletal scoliosis.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Look, it is wild.
What?
Like when we think about it, everything natural can happen spiritual. So when we like, oh, I just feel so bogged down. Like your spirit can be bogged down. I'm like, we gotta like legit like spiritual scoliosis that affects
Spiritual
how
scoliosis.
you look and do things. Like
Yeah.
just to give an example, like we've prayed for things in the last week.
Yep.
Oh
And
man.
if our posture wasn't where it needed to be, I don't know what would have happened.
Yep.
Like being open to be like, we need help.
Yeah.
That allows people to actually help. And I know in many situations, people are like, nah, I don't want to ask for help. Nah, I want to buy in my business. And you just bent over, just you and your problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And you trying to figure out why you feel so heavy all the time. Because you ain't like, let me fix myself. Let me breathe. Please help me with this. Yeah, it's rough, man. You hit it, especially with when we hunched over, man, we can't breathe. Our muscles don't work right. Like we spend more energy hunched over than if we were straighten up.
Yeah.
Using more muscles.
Yeah, like we spending more energy staying in this position than we would getting into our natural positions.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Somebody touched on it yesterday, talked about how we're focused on the problem and not the posture.
Woo!
Yes.
I don't remember who it was. Y'all go back and watch that Sunday night
It might have been
recap.
Pastor
Yes.
Tanya. It might have been, but that's legit. Like sometimes you get in these type of situations, and the problem starts to create the environment for you, and it creates the perception that you have in your life, and that creates the way you're talking.
Yes.
That creates who you hang around, and next thing you know, you just slumped over. I mean, not even physically, you just in a slump. I mean, you don't want to get up in the morning, don't want to do anything. Like it's just not you. And so, yeah, that posture definitely can be a result of your problems. But I think when we had our panel, I think people really took hold to the message. And I've seen a change in people's posture just from the way they're talking to me. I mean, for example, we had a lady that came up to me and said she's Team iPhone now. Just from our panel.
Of course.
Just from our panel. So that lets me know that there's nothing that God can't do. It's nothing He won't do for you. She said out of her mouth, I had to see what the hype was about.
Oh.
I wanted to be a part. And I said, you know what? You can FaceTime me. And so she has an iPhone now. She got the iPhone 14, I believe. I think she went all the way up to the top. She went all the way up.
Straight to the max.
But just the powerful.
Straight to the
It's just straight to the max. I'm sorry, what?
The power of agreement.
The power of straight to the max.
But that says something.
Yeah.
That's a physical like response.
Yeah.
Like if you were just like, yeah, you get an iPhone. She probably like, nah.
Really wouldn't care
But
about it.
your posture and excitement about it, she's like, that piqued my interest. Like, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna try it.
Ooh, that
I'ma
just
actually-
shows that posture is contagious.
Ooh,
Right?
What?
Posture is contagious.
See,
Get it started already. We didn't even get started.
all the
We
way.
didn't
to the break.
started.
I'm so
We
serious
supposed
though.
to come in here and,
I'm just
and
finna
ease
sit and
our
relax.
way in.
Let me just relax right now,
I'm
cause
serious.
That's strike one.
right?
it's contagious.
It's contagious. So I tell my daughter, right? Like the scripture talks about, bad company corrupts good habits, right? That's a scripture.
Yes.
That's good.
So think about your relationships and how is that impacting your posture, your attitude, your approach to dealing with whatever your circumstances are.
That's
Yes.
good.
It's contagious.
That's what I love about Minister Sam is that she always has.
No,
I do too.
No, she's. I mean,
that was not on the notes.
it's
y'all.
almost like you're just a great reference of God's word. You know, I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate
That's an
that.
honor. That's an honor.
Your posture
Oh my God.
is contagious because people will, especially depending on how much influence you have.
Say
If
it.
you have a huge influence,
Say it.
people will follow after them, whether they know it's good or not. If they feel like you, I mean, look at Hitler.
Shoo!
He had influence,
Wow.
Perfect example.
and people followed his example because he was so influential towards a negative thing. You know, but
Ooh.
I just was thinking about that, like, man, like, you know, if you're not careful, that'll rub off. You know, that'll rub off for sure. And that's why I'm excited about how, like, when we come into our services on Sunday afternoons at 12 o'clock.
3408
3408 Miller Road.
That's
There's
right,
no
that's
self-promotion here. I'm excited, you know, is the atmosphere is just conducive and just it's welcoming to do what we're about to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we come in, sometimes you bog down, you know, your posture is sometimes you need to be seeing other people's postures to help yours. Like, man, you know what? Why am I the only one?
Oh, yeah.
Why Michelle coming in here smiling and Pastor smiling and the kids are smiling and I'm coming in like this? It's like, whoa, maybe I should smile because
Right.
that's what the environment is pushing. You know what I'm saying?
You hit a good point. Some of us are downplaying the effects of our posture.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We are not giving ourselves credit to who we influence with our posture. Our pastor said all the time, the power in showing up. Like, seriously, there are people watching and leaning on us doing what we know is right. And us as believers, Christ has already empowered us to do it.
Right.
So the only difference is, are we just going to do it or not? You know, Nike tried to coin it, you know, just do it. Jesus been saying that since the beginning.
They got that from Jesus.
Right, just do it.
They got that from
You know,
God.
seriously.
Got
Like,
that from Jesus Christ.
copyright strike from Nike.
Plagiarism.
You're right. And it's real. Like, you know, we have been seeing it happen so quickly. The simple alignment, you know, does so much work. I got a friend, he's a chiropractor down in North Carolina. He talks about it consistently. One little adjustment can relieve a lifelong of pain.
Wow.
And I'm
Right
like,
there. That right there.
one adjustment. That's it. And that could clear out all your issues, all that stress, all that worry.
Breathing
Wow,
better.
right. Breathing better. Your shoulder won't be bothering you. You can actually lift the load you're supposed to lift.
Oh man, come on now.
Because we all got a load to lift. We all got a load to lift.
It's funny that you say that though, because I put myself out here, but I do not like massages or physical therapists or people touching me or the sound. Or the sound, right?
The sound.
So I never allow myself to be in that position.
So what you're saying is that
a vulnerable
you
position,
don't
though.
allow yourself to be properly adjusted.
No, I don't. Because I'm scared.
Oh,
Because I'm
Because of
scared.
fear.
But let me tell you why. Let me
No,
tell you
that's
why. Let me tell you why.
good,
First
though.
of all, if you don't have TikTok, you don't know what I'm talking about for one
The
second.
ring dingers.
But TikTok, they will show a video of somebody's back getting cracked and it sounds like a bag of chips. It's like, I just,
Yep.
and I've seen too many movies where they come behind you and they just go like, and then you're dead and you're on the floor, and then now you're not up no more. And then in my mind, I'm like, if I go to these little practices or whatever, and they gonna go, I'm not gonna wake up. So I don't know why, but even I went with Anthony once when he got a massager. He was getting like an adjustment or whatever. And the guy was like, oh, I'll just do like your fingers or your hand or whatever. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm just way too scared. But I think it's just funny that you say that because I don't think I'm alone, you know, in a sense, like not just a physical thing, but I think some people just mentally get afraid of like
Yep.
what that might be
Wow.
like that they don't get anywhere near it to experience it. You know what I mean?
I am so glad you said this. One of my favorite movies is Coach Carter.
Woo!
And I was just watching it today, and the whole scene where they cancel the lockout. Coach Carter comes in there, and Cruz is talking. Our biggest fear is that we are inadequate. And I said, I don't know it verbatim, but to know that our fear is that we could be greater than anything we could ever imagine. And I was like, I've seen this movie 100 times, but after talking about posture, it hit different.
Yeah.
It hit so different. Like, am I like choosing to stay in this position because it's comfortable or familiar, and I don't want to step out, and then what'll happen. And part of that quote was, we have to allow ourselves to shine and be okay with other people being insecure about our shine, because our shine allows them the freedom to shine. And I was like, Cruz, like,
what you doing?
Cruz, where you been? And it's for real. Like, there's probably a million people that are like, no, I don't want to do that because I did it once, or I seen something, I'm scarred. Like, Sam, we can probably talk about people having visual traumas.
It can really literally like keep you stuck, so you won't be able to try it out because you're thinking of every other time this happened, it turned out poorly. Right. So even when people coming into service or coming into church, like being in that environment can be really difficult for some folks when they've experienced some sort of spiritual trauma or spiritual abuse or hurts in the church. And so our posture of love and kindness, because that actually was my part too. This was what God took me to here, was thinking about our posture of being loving towards people, even if justifiably, like, we've been offended by them. Period.
You're really talking, period.
That.
I'm just here to listen.
I know you too, because I don't really know what to say.
If that, I was speechless too today, thinking about talking about that. But just think about Jesus, right? I mean, people were offended against him all the time, but that's the model of posture, right, that we have. Like,
Humility.
he lived humility, he lived grace, he lived love.
Yes. That's man.
I'm so quiet
Sorry,
right
y'all.
now.
We
Sorry.
just sit,
Oh my gosh.
let me
Humility.
take a drink now.
Dang. Because it's like, some people do affect your posture.
They do.
Know? And you're not responsible. Well, no one else is responsible for how you act, right? That's what they say. Like, your actions are your actions, and the way you respond to those actions are because of what you decide to do. So nobody's responsible for our act, but I can definitely say, like, because you get hurt, or some people don't think or have the same heart as you, that it changes your posture towards them. Like, just even think about the simple fact, like, somebody trying to give you a hug and you're not receiving it. It's a different, two different postures.
Yeah.
It literally is. And so I'm just going to be quiet because that's just something I'm too glad to work on.
All of us do, though.
I know we all do. I just, man, like, having the best posture, having a posture of humility, even when you're hurt by somebody. Like, oh my gosh. Let me stop.
Oh, my soul. Jeez.
Just saying.
Posture, humility, even when you hurt.
Yeah. So that 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind, love does not keep a record of wrong. I'm telling you, this morning I was like, okay, God, okay, I'm just coming.
That part, love does not keep a record of wrongdoing.
That, yes.
Bro, we got the memory of the stars when it comes to folks hurting us.
When it comes to other people.
When it comes to folks doing us wrong, I remember when I was 6 months old, you pricked my finger. We got the memory of it.
Yeah.
We got it.
And not even that. We had the best memory of just what other people go through. Like, did you hear about so-and-so church?
Oh my God.
Did you hear that they did this?
Oh,
did you hear about old
quick?
girl?
I mean, it's quick. Like, we'll know dates and times.
Did you hear about
6:30.
but did you hear about the souls they got? Did you hear about the lady that dropped her cane and ran around the church in heels last Sunday? Did you hear that part? And it's easier to hear, kind of like the exercise I do with the singers. When I play a chord simultaneously, just the same chord, same chord, same chord, and if I change one note, that note in that chord sticks out.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hear what was constant. It's hard to hear what was consistent. Because this type of thing is standing out.
You walking.
So when I say, hum the other notes, it's kind of hard because your focus is so much on the note that changed.
Yeah.
You're so focused on the problem that's in your face. You're so focused on the things that are happening now that you weren't focused on the consistent prayer life that you need. We're focused on the consistent things you have to do in your ministry. But now, and check this out, that thing that you focus on could be a good thing.
That's true.
You could be focused on a good job that God gave you, and then you lost all your prayer life. You lost all of your consistent with your family. You lost checking in with different people. You lost the balance. That's the word I'm looking for. You lost the balance. Balance, like your posture. Your posture's off. You ain't got what they say with your pinky toes.
Oh yeah, you off balance.
You can't walk or something like that.
No, seriously. Yeah, my uncle, he with diabetes, he had to get his pinky toe amputated, and I didn't realize they had to reteach you how to walk.
Yeah.
Because the smallest toe,
oh my
the
goodness,
smallest toe throws off his whole balance. So literally, like for years, he was either on a cane or back to walker, or has a certain shoe he has to wear that puts a weight just on that side where the weight is missing. And now,
so what you're telling me is another part of the body has to compensate itself to be the balance.
Yeah, because the posture will be off.
Yeah.
Because the pinky is no longer there. The pinky toe is gone.
Come on, Anthony.
So now the other side of the body got to say, okay, well look, we got to do what y'all got. We got to pick up y'all weight now.
Lift your corner.
Yeah.
You
get
your corner. Get your corners.
Come on now. Okay. Does anybody want to explain the whole table scenario? But it's just as simple as lifting the table. That's what they talk about when it comes to like groups and teams or just people coming together. Even in marriages, there is a certain weight that you have to carry. And you feel it when somebody's corner isn't being lifted, or you feel it when somebody else isn't putting as much work as you. And so the scenario is to just lift your corner, man. Like, and if we all lift this corner together, it won't be so heavy.
And that's.
Go ahead, though.
I want to make sure people understand every person is needed.
Say it again. Say it for the people that's watching.
Every person is needed.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we only give the big three in our church the most attention: your pastor, your singers, and your ushers.
Yep.
Yeah.
But every ministry, every person that steps through the doors is important.
That's good.
You have a piece and a corner that helps build. And I think a lot of times people say, well, I just clean the church. Like, you do realize, like, we need church clean. Like, we just went through COVID.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, a lot of people didn't believe in being clean.
Right.
And then it showed. People got sick real fast. And so now it's, okay, well, cleanliness is important. It's just as important as who's preaching the word, who's singing, who opens the church, who closes the church, who's directing, right, who's working the media, who's working the sound, who's playing the drums. Every piece is needed in order to help this body function. And I think we get this title thing and big I's and little T's, and we don't need that. We all one unit, one solid unit.
Yeah.
And when everyone realizes that, okay, we in this together, we start to things start to happen real fast. As we've seen the last few weeks, it's been like
thanks for listening.
Non-stop.
Are you looking for a fun and engaging podcast to listen to? Look no further than That's What He Said podcast. Join our Facebook group to get in on the action as we discuss the latest messages from Hand of God Ministries and talk about all things related to the show. We love hearing from our fans, so be sure to share your thoughts, feelings with us, and help get some great conversations going. Do you want to get more involved? Follow your favorite hosts on social media and learn how to sponsor our next event by emailing hogmpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're feeling really generous, consider donating to our podcast equipment fund. Every little bit helps to continue to provide us with the best listening experience for you. Just click on our links that we have below, and we'll see you Sundays at noon, 3408 on Miller Road.